Ready or not, we're headed into a massive reset with this solar eclipse in Virgo that's happening on Sunday, September 21st at 10:59 a.m. Pacific. Now, we just had a huge lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces about 2 weeks ago, and that brought up all of this stuff, all of the shadow, all of the things that we've had to work on. And we've been in this eclipse portal for the past 2 weeks and really just being face to face with our wounds, our fears, uncertainty. Maybe there's been big changes in your life. Maybe relationships have been eclipsed out. Maybe there have been sudden changes, sudden beginnings, sudden endings. And now it's like, where do we go from here? So I'm going to talk about what this solar eclipse means, the transits that are going to be affecting it. And we're going to go into some card messages from the Mermaid Empowerment Oracle deck and the tarot so that you can feel prepared as we step into this energy. So solar eclipses are when the moon covers the sun completely. So it's this time of darkness before a huge new rebirth cycle. And whatever happens in this cycle, the changes are in effect for the next 6 months. And we haven't had a solar eclipse in Virgo since 2007. So if you can remember what was happening around March of 2007, good for you. I tried, I couldn't remember. But some of those patterns and themes are coming back. So you want to think about this energy of the solar eclipse in Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign that's all about service. It's all about order and structure and all about making things run properly. Okay. And the shadow of that is that its great attention to detail can sometimes bring out flaws, or it can bring up this kind of pessimistic energy or just over giving, over serving. We had this first new moon in Virgo around the end of August, and that was at 0 degrees. This is at 29 degrees of Virgo. So that's the critical degree. This is the second of two new moons that are in Virgo. So this is the second of two new moons that we've had in Virgo. The first was on Friday, August 22nd, and it was at 0 degrees of Virgo. And this new moon is now at 29 degrees of Virgo. That is the critical degree. So think about what was happening at the beginning of this last lunar cycle and think about how that's building on it now, because this is like the culmination. Something has been brewing, and I'm sure you probably been feeling it. When we have eclipses, oftentimes we can feel more tired, we can feel more fatigued, more stressed. There's all sorts of things that bubble up. Not to mention this past week, Mars has been opposing Chiron. So some wound might have been revealed, almost like you were ripping the Band-Aid off this past pain. And as we step into the week after this new moon and solar eclipse in Virgo, Mars is scoring Pluto. So the energy is building. There's so much intensity. There's so much uncertainty. So where are you at in all of this? Virgo likes to come into the situation, put on the gloves, take out the vacuum and the mop and the broom and just clean it all up. So there's some situation in your life, depending on where this moon is hitting you, and you can book an astrology reading if you want to know in more detail how this eclipse will affect you. But it's cleaning up one part of your life that really needs a boost. And the three words that came to me for this solar eclipse are release, reclaim, and restore. So release, reclaim, restore. That's the first thing we have to do is release. Think about what is over. It's so over. You need a new word for over. What are you so tired of? Maybe it's like a pattern. Maybe it's like a relationship dynamic. Maybe it's something where you're like, I am so tired of this. When will it change? This is that miracle point when we can just give it to the universe and say, okay, I don't know how to do this anymore. I don't know how to work with this. I'm ready for a change. This moon is also conjunct to the South Node in Virgo, which means that this is all about clearing past karma, ancestral lineage, things that have been really tough to end, to close, to release the cycle, back to that release word, right? And when we think of the South Node in Virgo, it's often tied to perfectionism. It's tied to like this fear of making a mistake. Those that have a South Node in Virgo were often in past lives where they were healers or doctors or something, where if you made a mistake, it would literally end someone's life because you had to be so meticulous. There was so much on the line. So that's what I feel like we are reclaiming, is we're reclaiming our ability to have more flow, our ability to have surrender, our ability to be kinder to ourselves, to not feel like a mistake is life-threatening, but instead to be able to just kind of explore things with a little bit more joy rather than so much rigidity. It also means that something is coming to a close, some sort of karmic cycle that you have been locked in. And think about it, we're in a 9-year. This is just about the tail end of it. So from 2016 to now, we have been wrapping up this 9-year cycle. It's a year of the snake in Chinese astrology. So it's like so much momentum, so much is building. The pressure is on, and maybe you've been feeling it. So it's very important to be kind to yourself and to go slow, because it takes a while for your body to catch up to your consciousness in such big energy. Now, the moon will also be opposing Saturn. So this is really about releasing those things that have felt oppressive, that have felt restrictive. And again, those things that maybe you've tried so hard on your own to release yourself from. And now it's like you've got to just ask for that divine support. It can also mean that those changes that we want may not happen right away. Sometimes Saturn goes slow, and Saturn is all about structure. The moon is all about how we feel emotionally supported and emotionally stable. Virgo feels emotionally secure when it's in control. But with Saturn in Pisces, it's like we're having to find that sort of structure in the infinity. And so this moon may highlight areas of your life where you're trying too hard to control things. And you have to remember, truth is surrender. Luckily, this moon is also trying to Uranus, which means unexpected blessings, something that we could not even fathom, some unexpected plot twist that is so beautiful, that is so harmonious, that is so miraculous, where it's just like, oh my gosh, did I just see what I saw? Did that just happen? And with Uranian energy, it happens so quick. And that's where I think that restriction, whatever is happening, it's like I'm just feeling like some cord breaking very quickly, very unexpectedly, where we don't even have to do anything. It's just like that thing gone. Then we also have a trine to Pluto, which means there's deep healing, there's deep cathartic healing. So much has been coming up, but we also have to remember that we're purging so much, right? Now, on a collective level, this is going to cause a lot of unrest. We've already been seeing it. There's a lot of mass divide. There's a lot of people with opinions. There's all sorts of dark agendas that are happening on this planet. So it's so important that you keep your center and you focus on you and what makes you happy. The thing about Virgo is it loves to be in service. So you've got to be in service of something greater than you, your mission, your self-care, your purpose, divinity, whatever it is. You've got to serve a purpose. If you're serving a purpose, this solar eclipse is going to lift you up. It's going to break the chains. It's going to free the red tape, and it's going to get you back on track, back in alignment with where you're supposed to be, removing those obstacles that have been so difficult to just shake off. Now, this word reclaim means that this is a moon where we are reclaiming what is ours. We're reclaiming our sovereignty. We're reclaiming our worth. We're reclaiming our prosperity. We're reclaiming our boundaries. We are reclaiming joy in our lives. We've got to do it first for us before we can see it in the collective. And finally, this restoration, this word restore, is saying what was lost will now be given back. But again, this is going to put us right into a week where Mars is squaring Pluto. So it's like you have got to prepare in this moment because there may be battles up ahead and you don't have to fight those battles alone. You've got your guides, you've got your star family, you've got God is on your side, but you've got to prepare yourself as the warrior. So that means that what you can do right now is focus on what you can control. Virgo is all about the body. It's all about health. It's all about order. It's all about routine. It's all about organization. Get prepared, get ready to expect the unexpected. But take care of your part. Take care of your human. Make sure you're eating enough, sleeping enough. Make sure you're nourishing yourself. What is your self-care practice right now? How are you making your spirituality a priority with Saturn in Pisces right now? This is the time to focus the discipline that Virgo offers and the devotion that Saturn in Pisces offers to get us out of that bondage. You've got to do your part to take care of you and prepare, and then be open for the way that the universe is going to step in ways that you never thought possible. So solar eclipses are a massive reset. It's not like a regular new moon where you set an intention and you see where it goes for the next 28 days. It's often recommended not to set an intention because they're so outside of the scope of our consciousness, what we're able to perceive. It's literally taking us out of a timeline that we're used to, that we've been kind of programmed into. So if you're trying to set an intention from this timeline and you're going to be lifted up here, it might not even translate. So it's not just like a rule of like, oh, don't do it because it can cause harm. I mean, obviously, do as thou wilt. 100%. But the way that you want to look at it is your human perspective can't fathom where individually and collectively we're going in consciousness. So trying to set an intention is like trying to mop up the sea. It's a waste of time. Instead, just take care of yourself, given those tips that I've shared, and then just ask, how can I be in this quiet space of receptivity to receive the downloads, to surrender, to allow what is ready to be released to be released? It's the preparation, then the restoration. But what happens in between, nobody knows. Nobody knows. And that's kind of the fun part. It's the wild card, especially with this beautiful trine to Uranus. It means good surprises are coming. And maybe you've been feeling really hopeless, especially this last week with wounds coming up with Mars opposing Chiron. But I promise you, the best is still yet to come. It's like in the movies where it's that climax and the hero is in some situation that just seems like impossible to get out of. How are they ever going to get out of this one? But we like that. We like the drama of life because it gives us that feeling of being alive. Joseph Campbell said, we think we want meaning in life. We think we're searching for the meaning in life, but really we want the experience of being alive. And so eclipse portals are a time where we feel alive, where so much is on the line, where so much is shifting. We don't know what's going to happen. And maybe you're in that situation where it feels like your hands are tied and it just feels like you're stuck. You're in a rock bottom, you're caged in, you're in a place where there's just no solution. That's the setup. That is the setup for the miracle. I promise you. Every good myth, every good movie always has that shift where we see, obviously, the hero completes that journey in victory, in success, in vindication, in joy. That is your story. That is the story of humanity. So I'm going to pull some cards from my deck, the Mermaid Empowerment Oracle deck first. And the first card that we have is Echoes. And the Mermaid Empowerment for Echoes is I witness the echoes and watch them fade. I'm feeling that this is the past card position. This is what we've been experiencing over the past few weeks, where we've been going in this journey of the underworld and we've been looking at our fears. We've had wounds come up. We've had situations come up where it was like, oh my God, I thought I was over that. Something has returned and we've had to look at it. And maybe it's caused us to see how we react to that experience now versus how we would have reacted to it then. Maybe it's shown you how you're in your power now. Maybe it's shown you that things that used to break you or shake you can't do that anymore, that people that used to drain your energy don't affect you anymore. So see the miracle in the echo, because it's showing you how far you've come, but it's just an echo. It cannot affect your mission or your vision long term. And then we have curiosity. This is the eclipse. This is the present moment where we have that crazy energy, that electric energy of the massive reset that is bringing us up into alignment with where we're supposed to be. The mermaid empowerment for curiosity is I explore my world with curiosity. The echoes, if I didn't say it, I can't remember, is I witness the echoes and watch them fade. So I witness the echoes and watch them fade. I explore my world with curiosity, which is the antidote to fear. When you start to get curious, like a scientist or a detective, and say, I wonder why I'm going through this situation. What is this experience teaching me? What is the data I can collect from this moment? And just start to detach yourself from the emotional entanglement of what's happening and look at it from this objective perspective, this alternate lens, and start to mine the data of what you're receiving from this experience, what you're learning from. And of course, the future card is perfect trust. The mermaid empowerment for perfect trust is I trust and know the universe has got me. If you knew the universe had you, if you knew that you're taken care of, that your desires, your wants, everything that you need is here, that there's good things ahead, how would that affect your day-to-day right now? Would it take you out of that cycle of rumination or fear, whatever it is that's holding you back or keeping you in this state of, oh my gosh, what if this happens, or what if this happens? And it's also saying we're not supposed to know. That energy of Virgo wants to know, but that part of us that clings to control is just an old mechanism, because there really is no control other than surrender. That's truth. Truth is knowing that we can't break out of anything. There is no there to get to. And once we just kind of accept that we are who we are, it is what it is, there's like this moment of transcendence where suddenly it just shifts on its own because we've stopped trying to force it. It just happens. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is so beautiful, so Virgo, because this is the Virgo energy. She is that earth queen where, she really builds up this energy of abundance, a connection to nature. And Virgo works hard so that she can experience the abundance of the earth and this grounded material stability. And that's what this moon is bringing us into, this solar eclipse. So if you've been experiencing issues with lack consciousness or abundance, this is a time for a massive reset in the way that you view money. And also we have the Three of Cups. So it's a time for celebration. If it's felt like you've been in kind of a dark night of the soul, this is that sort of reset where you can come back together with like others on your path and remember that you're not alone. But we also have the Seven of Cups. And so I think this is a reminder that there might be a lot of choices, and don't get stuck in the choices. Remember, this is about the surrender, because of course, Virgo is going to want to spend that time analyzing and thinking, well, what if I do this? Or what if this happens? And the preparation that I was referring to at the beginning of this video is not about preparing by analyzing and comparing all of the things. It's really just about preparing your body, your heart, and your mind to receive the downloads of divinity and let that be the guiding force. And so finally, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and this is such a Virgo card. It's all about just getting to work, getting your mind off of the future, off of the possible timelines, and then just remember that as long as you're focused and busy and doing the things that you like, creating bliss in this moment, you're going to be okay. We're going to be okay as a collective. I promise you. Yes, it's scary times, but it's also beautiful times. And the more we focus on the beauty, the more beauty we will see. So if you want support, you can book that astrology reading to discover how this eclipse will affect you personally. You can also book a galactic channeled reading or a mystical mentorship session. And if you are an entrepreneur or a creator and you need support in graphic design or web design or in content creation, video editing, whatever it is, I support entrepreneurs and creators in soul-centered heart strategy. I can help you bring your brand to life and develop your website and the story of you in a way that is beautiful, that is clean. And I have this dual gift of the techie side and the creative side that can support you in bringing your mission online in a way that is well received by the community and the people that are ready to hear your message. So you can find that link in the description. And I love you so much. Have a wonderful week. See you on the other side of the eclipse portal.